Good evening, sir. My name is Joshika. Today's first article is on Battle for Bihar. So, Nitish is seeking a new mandate with emotive rhetoric deflecting the debate on performance. So, Nitish, a person, he's seeking a new mandate with emotive rhetoric means arousing or able to arouse feelings on rhetoric means oratory or eloquence art of effective speaking in the debate on performance. So Nitish is seeking a new mandatory with effective means arousing an effective speech on the debate on performance. So, the assembly election in Bihar will be taking place in unprecedented circumstances over three phases in the last week of October and the first week of November. So, the assembly elections, which is being taken place in Bihar, will be taken place in unexpected circumstances over three phases, means three levels, which was in the last week, which will be in the last week of October and the first week on the November. This will be the first assembly election since COVID-19 disrupted normal life, and the performance of the governments on the health and the economic fronts will become an issue in the election campaign. So, this will be the first assembly elections after the COVID-19 disruption, means the disaster, and the performance of the governments on the health and the economic fronts will become an issue on the election campaign. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's record of 15 years is mixed. So, Chief Minister Nitish Kumar's record has 15 years in mixed. After initial improvements in governance after he took over in 2015, there was an evident downslide culminating in the bungled handling of the pandemic. So, after the initial improvements from the governance and after he took over in 2005, there was an evident downfall which was culminating, means reaching to a climax in the clumsy or incomplete handling of the pandemic. He deserted the BJP in 2013 and won the 2015 assembly elections in alliance with the RJD, only to return to the BJP's embrace soon. So he have deserted, means desired the BJP in 2013 and won the 2015 assembly elections in the alliance with the RJD, which was only in the return of BJP's embrace, means hug or accept soon. His popularity is waning. While BJP is on the defense on questions of border security, economic stagnation, and farmer backlash. So his popularity is disappearing or decreasing because BJP is on the defense on questions of border security, economic stagnation, and farm backlash. The state and the center jointly and separately mismanaged the return of migrant workers from other states to Bihar during the lockdown. The state and the center came together and managed or mismanaged that they stopped for the migrant workers to return back from the states of Bihar, from other states to state of Bihar during this lockdown. They have held together to distract the debate from substantive issues to emotive rhetoric. So they have held together to distract the debate from, means, a firm and reality basis to emotive rhetoric, means arousing the effectiveness of speaking. The suspected suicide of a film actor who hailed from Bihar is being used by both parties to fancast and parochial emotions. So, the suspected suicide of a film actor who was from Bihar, whose was from Bihar, is being used by both parties and fans also, and even narrow minded emotions. The brazenly partisan conduct of Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairperson Harivansh, a member of JD, during the monsoon session is being hailed as adherents to Bihari ethos, and his critics are being labeled anti-Bihar. So the boldness or shamelessness partisan means a strong supporting conduct of Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairperson Harivansh and the member of JD during this monsoon session was being brought from said as adherents means are saying as belief to Bihari spirit or character, and his critics are being labeled as anti-Bihar. It is not that the NDA is free from internal squabbles, so it is not in no way it's saying that NDA is free from the internal quarrel or arguments. Union Minister Ram Vilas Paswan is sulking after the entry of another Dalit leader, Jitan Ram Manjhi, into the alliance. So it is not that the NDA is from internal squabbles or internal arguments. Union Minister Ramvilas Paswan is sulking means he's becoming silent after the entry of another Dalit leader, Jithan Ram Manshi, into the alliance. Still, the social coalition of upper castes, non-Yadav backward castes and considerable segments of Dalits behind the NDA is largely intact as the campaign formally begins. So, the social coalition of the upper castes, castes, non-Yadav backward castes and considerable segments of Dalits have behind the NDA is largely intact means not at all damaged at all as the campaign formally begins. It is not unbreachable, but the opposition commanded by RJD leader Tejasvi Pratap does not appear battle ready. Ready. So it is not able to overcome the situation that the opposition have commanded by RJD leader Tejasvi Pratap does not appear in the battle ready. The RJD, the Congress, and the left might ultimately form an alliance, but not before more bad blood is generated and confusion spread among their supporters. So the RJD, the Congress, and the left might ultimately form an union because they do not want to mix a bad blood means some negativity in that thing. So this will be the first Bihar assembly election in 30 years in which Lalu Prasad is not the central campaigner. So this will be the first Bihar assembly election in which from 30 years, after 30 years, this is the first one in which Lalu Prasad is not the central campaigner. The junior Yadav is often compared unfairly to his father. So, the junior Yadav is often compared unfairly to his father. Hamstrung by his siblings and dealing with a changed social environment, he has the tough task of selectively appropriating his father's legacy and selectively disowning it. So, a hamstrung means a crippling or disabling by his siblings and dealing with a changed social environment. He has a tough task to selectively appropriate his father's legacy and selectively disowning it. So, Muslims constitute nearly 17% of the state's population, and it will be interesting to watch how the NDA and the RJD led alliance address them regarding the national population register and allied concerns. So, Muslims constitute almost 17% of the state population, and they are very interested to see how the NDA and RJD alliance will be addressing the national population register and allied concerns. The election will be a health check of Indian democracy in the post pandemic era. So this election will be a health check of Indian democracy in the post-pandemic era. There is a potential for a new imagination in Bihar, but unfortunately there is no visible on the horizon yet. So it is said that the potential of Bihar is increasing. This is the first time we can imagine that the potential of Bihar is growing, but unfortunately there is no visible horizon yet. Origin. So today's first article is about the Bihar elections. What are the changes right now? So we are going to see a new elections in Bihar in which Lalu Prasad is not the central campaigner. So this is today's first article. Thank you.